How are you?
Oh well, a little sleepy, a little cold, but happy to be in Poland.
Yeah, of course. How was the show in Krakow, by the way?
It was amazing. Yeah, it was really beautiful to be back. The audiences here are always absolutely incredible.
You play a lot of shows in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
You also get a lot of fans here. Your new album is selling here very well, I think. And I'm curious if there is something special about playing in Poland for you.
Yeah, I think I'll always remember Poznan. That was such a cool experience to do, but every time we're here, there's just something special about it.
Yeah, Poznan, it's summer, right? Last year.
Yeah.
We live near to Poznan, so
yeah.
My favorite songs from your new album, Fever Dream, are Fever Dream, Broken, Paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
What are yours?
Mine's Oblivion, King of the Damned, Off of the Head.
All right. And I'm curious about one thing. Is it hard to be a rock band these days? Or maybe you'd like to move, let's say, 40, 50 years back and create music then?
I don't know, I think it's always like the grass is greener on the other side type thing. I think with the integration of technology and the ability to be so close to your fans nowadays, it's such a magical thing to be able to have. You know, like the fact that we can connect with fans in such a quick way and such a deep way with videos and art and poetry and philosophy. Like we just released this website, royalcouncil.palayeroyale.com. It's almost like this central hub for all of the fans to come, and like we have like special things. Yeah, so I'm happy to be a part of today's generation, just because I feel like it is our duty as artists to almost like celebrate some traditions that may have been lost, and some artists and philosophers that may be forgotten over time. You know, like Alan Watts, I feel is so a part of our message, and I try to introduce his work in as many people as I possibly can. You know?
Okay. You have a really loyal fans, right?
Yeah.
And what is the recipe to have a fandom like yours?
I don't think it's a recipe. I think it's more just like people can see bullshit really easy, you know? So if you wake up every single day and you're passionate about what you do and the art that you create, and you have depth and substance to the message that you're trying to convey, I think like-minded people are able to identify with that. And because there's so much toxicity and bullshit happening in today's environment and society, that like it is a breath of fresh air to see something that's like pure and honest. And like to me, that's what these shows are. And like interacting with the fans, it's such a exchange of just like love and appreciation, and we're all searching for some sense of salvation, so doing it together makes it a little bit easier.
All right. I read it somewhere that you supported Marilyn Manson on the tour a few years ago. That's right?
And Rob Zombie, yeah.
Yeah. Twins of Evil tour, something like that.
Yeah.
How do you remember that day?
It was fun. It was our first time we did like arenas and shit. So like the first couple shows were really hard because like we were obviously very nervous, and like we changed our set to be a bit heavier, which I feel like people, especially that audience, saw through it. And so we were like, okay, let's not do that. Let's be true to ourselves and do what we do, play rock and roll, be crazy, be wild. And then that's when that sort of fan base started accepting us a bit more. But it was a beautiful learning curve, and learned about a lot of what to do and what not to do, and just like, yeah, the ins and outs of how like a tour that big operates.
Okay. You got a lot of fans then where you played this tour?
I don't know if we got a lot of fans from it, but it was a cool experience for sure.
I'm curious if is there a place on earth where you'd really like to play a show and you have never played before?
Yeah, we would like to do Palaye Royale at the Palaye Royale in Toronto, and then the Palaye Royale in Paris, France, next to the Louvre. I think that'd be cool.
All right. I think your new album is really balanced, let's say, and I'm curious which songs are more fun for you to create, ballads or maybe the rock bangers, heavier ones.
I think they're different in different ways, you know. Crafting Fever Dream was really fun, just because it's so crazy with like our producer Chris Griotti. He's such a savant and like our best friend. We love him so much. So being able to work about like a year and a half or something on an album with like your best friend, just making music, being creative, staying up all hours of the night, just striving for the same goal of just creative expression. Yeah, and made us much better musicians and people as well. He helped us definitely communicate better with each other as brothers, and then that in turn made better music because we like wanted to be in the same room together.
Sure thing. Which bands, which artists are your biggest inspirations?
I think it's The Doors, the Velvet Underground. I really love. I've always had this idea because I've loved Velvet Underground like my whole life. So like, I always thought it would be interesting if Andy Warhol was like a member in the band. You know, if he was like the drummer or something. So I feel like that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is like be my own artist and then integrate it into the band, and then it's almost like this art project rather than a band. Yeah.
Okay. And the last one, what do you like more, being on tour or maybe the creative process while you're creating a new record?
It's like an on and off switch, you know. I think if you have one, it gets boring. And like the way that my brain operates, like I do so many things in my life, from the clothing companies, cosmetic company, to my art, poetry, music, you know, all these things. So I feel like I wear myself out in one aspect and then I go to another aspect. So on this tour though, I'm very happy. I'm finding like a nice balance of having my hours to create art and be isolated, and then having my time for madness and the shows and fans and all that. So I think life is just that. It's a balancing act. It's finding like the alchemy solution of happiness.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
for
you.
this conversation.
Appreciate it. You're gonna watch the show, I'm assuming?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I'm gonna join the mosh pit tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Oh, cool.
So have a great show and the rest of the tour.
Thank you so much, my man. Appreciate it. Thank you.